Is it playing?
It's playing, but I'll cut it whenever we start.
Oh, okay.
So then it can happen naturally.
Okay. So, let's hit the begin button. Begin. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, Austin and Mike's 60-day plus, I think we're calling it.
60-day.
Not just the regular 60-day.
1.5.
It's at least 1.5 times. So we're super excited about this. We had a call yesterday, and we couldn't save it on Zoom, so we're doing it today on YouTube. And we wanted to go over basically what you guys can expect out of us, what you can expect from the 60-day, and then the additional things. So you've probably signed up, you've seen the information, the things that are coming in to you, but we want to make sure it's nice and clear what you're going to be getting and kind of the direction of this program.
Yeah, so I think that we couldn't save the Zoom call, but we could kind of use this as a place to go back and look at stuff. Like, we're going to talk about kind of a reset this first week. You can come back and look at this video and like, what were the things that Mike said, kind of reference it again, see what we're going to do in a couple months, use this as a tool to go back and see if you're still doing that stuff. But anyway, the main things that Mike and I, sorry, I'm losing my voice. I coached a lot of classes this week. The main thing that Mike and I wanted to come together to made this 60-day different, because if you've been around Lifetime a while, 60 days come and go, right? So we wanted to make this one a different experience than normal. We wanted to offer a more in-depth assessment, like something that actually tests what you're interested in, tests physical fitness, like performance, real life movement, that kind of stuff, and give you a program to actually meet those goals. Sometimes just a cookie cutter program is not necessarily the best for what you want. We're just trying to go a step past that. So that's the big thing, is you'll get a program that Mike and I write, and we're going to write 2 of them, a fat loss one and a strength one. That's the 2 big ones that we got. Yes, if you're in the fat loss, you're all going to have the same one, but you can still edit that a little bit farther to meet your own needs. And then the strength the same way. The other thing that you get is the group with me and Mike, and then I think we decided bi-weekly, probably every other week, maybe Zoom calls. If not, if there's like a hot topic, maybe we'll meet on again. That's kind of the nice part. You get in our group, you get our Zoom calls, you get a t-shirt, and and you have access to the Saturday sweat sessions with everybody else. So if you wanted to take part in that, which I hope you do, because being in a group is very important, you have access to that as well. So that's kind of the cool
recipe book.
The recipe book, yeah. You get all the regular 60-day stuff, right? You get your recipe book, you get a meal plan. You can still follow the workouts that like Corporate Lifetime put out. You get all of that as well, plus what we have to offer.
This is also a competition, whether you want to think of it as a competition or not, but Lifetime is giving a ton of prizes for those people who make the biggest change, whether it be a body composition change, fat loss, weight loss, or some sort of massive strength feat or a massive improvement in, could be your bike time or your bike pace, your run pace. Okay, so they just want to see a big change. And so we want to be able to document. If you think you're in the running for that, we can get some videos, we can get some pictures, and that'll kind of make sure to sweeten your chances of winning.
And that's a big step up, because it's notoriously just been like weight loss, but now they open it up to, if you have a goal and you make large strides towards that or break that, they're also going to be giving it up to those people as well.
Now, one thing that is slightly different from our 60-day is that we're doing multiple tests, like Austin said, and these tests can be adapted to your abilities. So in the gym, we've got people checking their body composition on an in-body. If you don't have an in-body, what we recommend, which is something that you hold, and it's a bioelectrical impedance. It shoots kind of electrodes through your body, not kind of, it does. You don't feel it. Hits your hand, goes back into the sensors, and the speed at which it does that indicates how much body fat, muscle. It can also take your weight, and that's one way for us to quantify your success, okay? We also do a sit and reach. If you don't have access to that, you can also take measurements. So we recommend your chest, your biceps at the largest point of the bicep, your waist at your belly button height, your hips at your hip, like where your hip bones are, your greater trochanter, so it'll go over your buttocks. It's a funny word.
Your
buttocks.
gluteus maximus.
Your quad at the largest spot as well. Those are some areas that we want you guys taking circumferences, and your calf. Okay, so take the area that is the largest there.
And that's if you don't have an in-body.
Yep. Then we are going to be testing, and you can also test a sit and reach. Okay, so if you take a soft measuring tape and you put your feet down, sitting on the ground, your feet is 0. Okay, so if you cannot reach out to 0, your hands have to be on top of each other like that. And if you cannot reach to 0, that's negative. If you reach 0, that's 0. And if you reach beyond that, that's plus 1, 2, 3 inches, and so on. So put a soft measuring tape down there. We've seen that good flexibility in the posterior chain, even with that sit and reach, will reduce things like lower back pain and so on. Okay, we're going to do a broad jump. The further you can jump out, the stronger your legs. Okay, so we want people to get stronger with their hex bar, their squat, their deadlift, or even with their row power, and that'll show up in a broad jump. Okay, and so what we'll do is we'll do a number of warm-up jumps, and then we'll have you do 3 maximal effort jumps, and we'll take the furthest jump, and it's going to be the thing that is the furthest back on you. So if you put your hand down, you fall, you put your hand down, or if your feet are slightly uneven, it's going to be the furthest thing back. We're also going to do a jump rope test for a minute, however many jumps you can get in a minute.
And I know some people are like, well, what if I don't jump rope well? You can still either do like a box jump or jump onto a small platform or a plate. We're just looking for like ground contact time. Like, what's the elasticity of your muscles just kind of going up and down? That's what we're trying to get out of that one.
Yep. Sit-up test, 60 seconds. So at the gym, we're going to have a little pole for your foot to be underneath, and you're going to touch the ground behind you, and you're going to touch the posts in front of you. If you don't have access to that, you can put your foot underneath a couch or something else that fixes you, and then you have to touch once again, be over your head, and then like the couch. It just has to be consistent. Like Austin said with the jumping, you have to use the same implement. So if you go outside and you use a curb or use a step or use a plate, like you said, just has to be consistent, okay? And that is 60 seconds as well. We're also doing a farmer's walk. What I like to tell people that the reason why we're testing this farmer's walk, it's a test of grip strength. And I've never seen somebody with really strong grip with a weak upper back. And it's kind of like your feet as well. I've never seen somebody with very strong feet with a weak butt. Okay, so there are strong correlations between the two of those, as well as good longevity. The stronger your grip strength, theoretically, the longer you have potential to live is. Okay,
and then people don't have to open stuff for you.
That's a good, absolutely. The ladies, we've been having them do anywhere from 35 to 40 pounds, and for the gentlemen, we've had them do anywhere from 50 to 75 pounds. In the gym, we've been using kettlebells. Now, if you're at home, in the gym, we're having you walk out and back, about 10 yards out, about 10 yards back, and we're counting the number of lengths that you get. If you're at home and you can measure 10 yards out, 10 yards back, rock and roll, you do that. There's no half distances. It's 1, 2. If you don't have access to that or don't feel comfortable measuring, you can just pick them up and hold those dumbbells or kettlebells for as long as you can. And so you would get your time, not length. So you would get the time that you can hold that. There's 2 different ways to do that, okay? Another one is a bench press test. We pick a predetermined load for what you're capable of doing, anywhere from 5 to 20 times. If we start going beyond 20 times, we're starting to test something that is not strength. Okay, so we're going to pick a predetermined load for that. If you don't have access to a bench press and you're not here, you're doing it virtually with us, you can do a push-up test. So you'll do as many push-ups as you can, okay, and you'll rest in a locked out arm position. Once you put your knees down or you fall to the ground, done. Okay, so as many as you can, full range of motion push-ups. Another one is a hex bar deadlift. Like the bench press, we're going to choose a predetermined load for you and your strength. You'll do as many repetitions with that load as you can. If you don't have access to a hex bar, or you're doing it virtually, or have some sort of issue and can't do it in the club with us, you can deadlift, squat, just something that is repeatable to show your lower body strength. Okay, and the last thing we're going to test is VO2 max, and we have 3 tests for that. First one is a bike test. There's 3 different options. You choose one of them. Bike test for 6 minutes. We will get your average watts for that 6 minutes. The row, 2K, as far and as fast as you can go in that 2K effort, and then a 1 mile run. So we want you to choose the thing that you're going to be doing in your training, because in your training, we want you to improve that thing 60 days from now. Okay, and that's where we can help you out maybe a little bit more, give you some guidance, and that's where Austin and I can help you out with the coaching side of things. Is like, hey, I really want to improve my mile. I really want to improve my bike watts in that 6 minutes. How? So reach out to us.
Which is good that you brought that up, because if you're a runner or you're a biker and you just want to do the 2K just because, and it's not necessarily something that you're going to train or do again, there's no reason to do the things that you're going to do.
Yep. And if there's no questions, we'll move on to the. So we have the 7-day reset, okay? And so we're filming this a couple days before this will actually start. We'll hope to get this to you guys with ample time to get mentally ready, really, and to get some of your food things prepped and your environment ready. So, number one, there are 5 things. Number one is food prep, okay? We want to make sure that your food is ready for the next day. So let's say we start on Monday. Sunday, you have everything laid out, ready to roll, or you know what you're going to be having for dinner. Like I told the folks yesterday, Angie knows what all the dinners will be Monday through Friday. She's got them up on a calendar on a little whiteboard. Monday, we're having this pasta thing. Tuesday, we're having hamburgers. Wednesday, we're having fill in the blank, okay? And that's what I want you guys to go into your Monday knowing I'm going to have, option A. Maybe you have 3 options for breakfast, but you're going to be having option B, okay? You know what you're going to be having. And you've already made your lunch, and dinner is what it is. You've already gone to the grocery store and got that stuff, okay? So you know what you're going to be going. Because when Austin and I were creating this, we were having a conversation that food prep is so important, as I'm there like eating out of containers.
Even for us.
Yeah. So I went down to Lifetime Cafe and crushed, bars and crushed these little chicken salads. However, they're good and healthy. It's just I'm not accounting and I'm not prepared for that. Okay, I just kind of willy-nilly and go and grab things based off how I feel rather than what I have predetermined I need. Okay, so that's number one. Number 2 is elimination. There is an elimination aspect of this. We want you to remove gluten, dairy, sugar, alcohol, red meat, and anything that doesn't make your tummy feel good. So those things for me include like onions. It kind of hurts my joints, makes my eyes a little bit blurry. I just don't feel good. My tummy just doesn't feel good. So if you have that thing that doesn't make you feel good, don't put it in your diet, okay? But we've tried to keep it nice and easy, and there are other things that you could add, but we're going to keep it to these bare minimums.
Probably the main things. In reality, we're just asking for 7 days of just a hard effort at that.
I think that's very important, is commit to yourself. Really lean into these first 7 days, because it gets the ball rolling for everything after that, okay? Because if you don't mentally make your mind up, you're not going to get momentum, you're not going to get results initially, and then it's hard to go back and say, oh, I'm going to do better in the second week. No, get yourself ready in the first week, be good in the first week, and then that builds confidence, and it gets that big snowball rolling with a lot of momentum, okay? The number 3 is we've just eliminated things. Now we're going to put things in that are healthy and to get you thinking about things rather than just being like slapping the wrist, don't eat this, don't eat that. We want you to think about eating greens, okay? Greens preferably with every meal. Protein, some sort of protein source with every meal, and to make sure that you're tracking your water intake, okay? So those are the 3 things that we want you to be thinking about and focusing on with these foods, okay? Number 4, bedtime.
Bedtime.
So we want you to go to bed at the same time every night, okay? But more than that, we also want you to create a really healthy environment prior to going to bed. Shut off the lights, light some candles, dim the lights, get yourself in your pajamas. We talked about yesterday Austin being a serial bather.
Yeah.
He has all the lotions and bubbles that you could imagine.
Of course, that seems just like me.
Yeah, and so he gets himself nice and ready mentally and physically for bedtime, and you can do that too. We joke, but that is important, okay?
Mhm.
We got twin boys, and when they were very young, we still try to keep routine with them, but even as a baby, we fed them, we got them a shower or a bath, and we, got their pajamas on, we read to them, we said their prayers, and then they went to bed. And that's what we should do as adults too, is have a routine because it's really good for the brain, and it kind of winds us down to get us ready for bed.
Absolutely. And if you have that routine down, I mean, a lot we talk about, especially with coaches, winning the morning, like what you do in the morning, that typically starts with what you're doing the night before.
Yep.
Right? That sets you up for success. So that, in terms of recovery, because this could be a new journey for a lot of people, your sleep and the routine you have at night is going to win you the next day and keep you going through 60 days.
The last thing, stress management. So we want you to do this on a daily basis. We ask for 10 minutes. You do you. We're not going to tell you what you should do, but we're going to give you options. And some of those are the simple ones: meditation, yoga, breathing. Breathing is a form of yin-based practice. Stress management, okay? So a body that is stressed is not a body that's going to perform well. It's not a body that's going to release fat. So sometimes we have to be not stressed in order to lose weight as well, if that's our goal. And so things like grounding, where we actually touch our bare feet to the soil, take our dogs for a mindful walk. I said yesterday, get off and stop at a park and sit on a picnic table and watch some.
This
some
could
dogs.
even be for people that, I understand people are busy and people have everybody does something very important in their life. This could be like an adult coloring book, something that just lets you do, it doesn't have to be, people view that stuff as doing nothing. It doesn't have to be doing nothing. You can find something that's stress relieving that lets you recenter yourself and kind of de-stress at least for 10 minutes a day.
So those are the things that we're doing for the 60-day plus. We wanted to get on and kind of package this for you guys so you can go back and reference it, like Austin said. If you have any questions after this, DM us in the chat. That's the best way to communicate with us, is the chat. And
I mean, that's a really good way too. If you post a question on there, I think Mike and I, between us, we got 30 to 38 people to join. Somebody probably has a similar question or maybe has an answer already. So, I mean, use the people that we're in. We're doing this challenge as a group because being in a group, it's just like it's like group theory. It's proven fact that you're going to go beyond what you would do by yourself. That's the importance to this kind of stuff. So, lean on us, lean on the group. I mean, that's one of the big things you're getting is just instant access to Mike and I. Please don't DM me like at night, but I mean like virtually 24/7.
Make sure you're also letting us and people around you know what your goal is during this time so they can help support you. So if your goal is weight loss, when you go to events, that people are supporting you with your decisions that you're making. If it's performance, that your accountability buddies are joining you in the gym or on the bike or on the run or whatever you're doing to help with your performances. But that you're letting Austin and I know specifically, hey, my goal is really to improve my fill in the blank, my bench press, my sit-ups, my grip strength, my flexibility, okay? So we can help direct you, and that's where us being your coaches really helps you get to that next level. So that's all we got. DM us with any questions or anything you guys have.
Thanks, guys. Mike and Austin, out.